Okay, we're fixing to try a trick Uncle Tony showed us. This is an old battery showing 11.5 volts, and it's a O'Reilly marine battery. We've had them in golf carts and we've toted them to crank other stuff up, and it's just dead. If you put it in something, it'll crank good and then it'll just fall on its face after a couple revolutions. And you can see how it's been beat up and abused on, but the case isn't swelling, so you wouldn't think the lead plates had distorted any. All right, but what Uncle Tony says, you take your old battery and you hook it up on a stick welder and you overcharge it. And by overcharging it, it's going to cause the water in this battery to bubble. We'll pop these caps off. And during the bubbling, it will desulfate the lead plates in it, where the acid can actually get on the lead and it'll take a charge again. And he had good results with it, so we're going to give it a go. This battery was, I think, a 20, yeah. February of 20, so it's not terribly old. We'll get everything set up and we'll see what happens. Okay, I've topped it off and used distilled water. And these water in this battery was pretty low. That lead plate was shining in 3 or 4 of these spots. Okay, you make sure your water's good, right? You put your stick welder, negative, positive, and you're going to run it on DC. But as a battery's charging, hydrogen and oxygen separates, and you'll get hydrogen gas bubbling out of these cells. And hydrogen gas is extremely flammable. So when you hook it up, you wanna have your welder off. Hook it up with the welder off. Turn the welder on. That way it doesn't get any sparks to risk catching an explosion or fire or whatever. But when you get ready to shut it down, you got to run it 5 minutes and let these things bubble and boil for 5 minutes. And when you get ready to shut it off, shut your welder off. Don't just grab it and try to unhook it, because you'll cause a spark. And sparks and hydrogen, not friends. All right. I got this little Craftsman set on about 60 or so amps. And immediately we've got bubbling. So, and they're all bubbling. We're gonna let that go for 5 minutes. We'll shut it off and check everything. 2 minutes in, I turned it down to around 40-ish. It was bubbling pretty hard. I didn't want to go too fast. She's bubbling pretty good. And I see a problem. My nut on my ground's loose. I need to tighten that up. Let me stop it and tighten that up. Alright, we tightened that up. I hadn't used that welder in years. We just got it turned back on. We're back bubbling. And what this is supposed to be doing is the overcharging of it is desulfuring the lead plate. It's supposed to get hot enough it cleans it off. That's what keeps it from charging, because nothing can get to the lead plates in it to create charge. It's bubbling pretty good though. Uncle Tony turned his up pretty hot, and we may get there before we're done. We want to get it good and clean. Keep some water handy. We're doing this outside on a plastic drum. So, safety third. But if it works, we get so many old cars in here with old batteries. If this works, we've got 20 or 30 batteries here we could fix. It'd be nice. The way inflation is, as high as batteries have gotten, I get a little more life out of them. It would certainly couldn't hurt. Alright, we're going to watch the clock and let it go for another 2 or 3 minutes and shut it down. Let it cool off, and then we'll do it again. All right, we've got the first 5-minute charge in. We ended up cranking up to about 70 amps there towards the end of it. We shut it off, and we're gonna let it cool for 10-15 minutes. Then we're gonna hit it again. Okay, dog. All right, it's been cooling for 4 or 5 minutes, and it's still bubbling. I don't know if that's gas off of hydrogen or if it's heat. We still got some activity in there. Poor old 55. Just for that first 5-minute boil at 70-ish amps, I was checking the voltage. We're already up to 12.6. So that's a good sign. And it's not dropping. I don't have a load tester to test it, but we'll stick it in a car and look. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes. We're gonna crank it back up and see what we get. Immediately boiling. All right, we'll let it boil for another 5, and I may turn the amps up and I may not, because it's doing quite good as is. And we'll go stick it in something and see what it sounds like. Now keep in mind, this battery would wheel a car maybe around, and then it would just click out and die. So anything more than that, I'd say, was success. So far, every cell has blew a bubble, but that one right there, but it's bubbling down deep. There you go. No, that's the wrong one. That one. We're at about the 3-minute mark on this second bubble. Alright, while we was off camera, that finally gave us a bubble. Alright, that's been 5. And she's bubbled and bubbled and bubbled. She's cooled back down. We put the caps back on it, cleaned it up a little bit. And now we've got 12.7 out of it with no drops. Let's go put it in the car and see what it sounds like. Okay. We stuck it in this old Ford van we got sitting around. Let's see what it sounds like. Here's a key. Wow. Wow, that's crazy. It sounds very good. All right. I'd say it works. So maybe this will help somebody else out. I got it from Uncle Tony. If you haven't seen his channel, it's Uncle Tony's Garage. That's a handy little trick to have in your pocket. All right. Thanks for watching.